What if I told you the biggest battle you'll ever fight is the one inside your own mind? That the voice you ignore the most is the one that could change everything? This isn't just a message, it's a wake-up call. So listen closely, because this might be the moment that shifts the course of your entire life. No matter how big your vision, time will still run out. One day, your story will end, and the world will keep spinning. So live boldly. It stings to feel rejected, but pretending to be someone you're not hurts far more. First, they'll mock you, then they'll admire you. First, they'll judge, then they'll ask for your blueprint. People laugh at courage until they realize they're missing their own. The truth, the most unstoppable person isn't the loudest. It's the one who faced themselves over and over again in silence. In this noisy world, everyone has something to say, but we forget the most important voice, the one that speaks in whispers, your own. And the moment you stop listening to it is the moment you start losing yourself. Keep your promises, even when no one's watching, even when quitting looks easier. The struggle means you're near the breakthrough. You owe yourself the finish line, because what matters isn't the size of your goal, but the strength of your character. At the end of the day, only you can choose your next move. Only you can take the step forward, and it will be uncomfortable. It will be terrifying, but the path to purpose always is. It doesn't matter how tired you are. It doesn't matter if you're angry, discouraged, or completely unmotivated. What matters is what you do. What matters is the action you take, regardless of the storm raging inside. It doesn't matter who believes in you. Friends may doubt you, family may not understand you, your emotions will betray you, but consistency never lies. If the dream feels too big, start breaking it down. Reverse engineer it. What's the finish line? Now trace it back to today. Build the plan. Stick to it, one step at a time. And if you follow through, tell me, what can't you accomplish? You can do anything, but only if you stop waiting for the perfect time. The pain isn't in failing. The real pain is in regret, when you realize the window closed and you still had untapped greatness sitting inside you. You look back and see all the missed moments where you could have pushed harder. That's the heartbreak most people live with. But not you, not if you decide today. The goal isn't to survive 5 days a week and escape for 2. It's to build a life you don't need to escape from. If you're constantly exhausted, numbing out with distraction won't save you. What you really need isn't more rest, it's self-respect. Reevaluate your surroundings, examine your habits. Real peace isn't found in silence, it's forged in the fire, when your life finally begins to reflect your purpose. And when life knocks you down, you won't get back up with comfort. You'll rise with grit. That deep, unshakable resolve that says, no matter how hard it is, I will rise. Your body might feel weak, but your mind, it's the weapon, and grit sharpens it. Let go of the fear of failing. Failing means you tried, it means you moved. You fall, you rise. That's how you grow. You don't gain wisdom from easy wins. You gain it from setbacks that taught you what not to do next time. So why not try? Why not grow? Why not become someone you're proud to know? Why not see how much you're truly capable of? At the end of each day, look in the mirror. Ask yourself, did I grow today? If the answer is yes, and you repeat that daily, 5, 10, 15 years later, you'll become something extraordinary. This isn't about overnight transformation. It's the compound effect of effort, stacked day after day, that builds a life worth living. So let me ask you, what are you afraid of? What's holding you back? What fear still chains your potential? Often, fear is nothing more than an illusion wearing truth's disguise. Pain is part of the process. You can't outrun it. Trying to avoid it only prolongs its grip. Most of our suffering comes not from reality, but from the stories we tell ourselves in our heads. That's why your inner dialogue matters. Speak life into yourself, even when the darkness feels overwhelming. Be your own advocate, because silence doesn't heal, it isolates. And when you stay silent, someone else is impacted too. Your voice matters, your healing matters, your journey matters. And your next chapter? It starts right now. Suffering shows you how to endure. It trains you to grow. It builds your strength to rise, because when you come through it, you don't walk out the same. You walk out as a fighter. And what fighters gain is a blueprint, not just to rise, but to remain. When someone else finds a clear path, it's often because you were the one who cleared it. The truth is, hardship doesn't last forever, but you can last longer than the hardship. Along the way, you'll meet pain. Don't run from it. Acknowledge it. Welcome it. Pain is not your enemy. It's the gatekeeper to your destiny. It asks one question: are you committed to your goals, or are you only saying you are? No one else can define your mission. You must shape that vision yourself. And once it's in motion, you grow into it. Life becomes more bearable when there's something you're reaching for, something you love. Once you find it, focus on it, sharpen it, master it. Let your passion for it speak so loudly, no one ever has to wonder what you stand for. Consistency beats talent. Many want the reward without the routine. They skim the surface. But transformation demands all of you. Early mornings, late nights, complete immersion. It's the difference between wishing and walking. It's how fear is broken down by doing the very thing that scares you. Because ultimately, that fear doesn't stop life. You do. Everyone has a story. People will say they lacked resources or support, but those who are resourceful find a way. They find the time, the strength, the opportunities. They build when others wait. There are moments that require caution, yes, but don't confuse caution with paralysis. Having fear is one thing. Letting fear have you is another. The greatest regret at the end of life isn't failure. It's becoming someone far from who you were meant to be. The mission is to become that version of yourself that you've always sensed was waiting to emerge. Don't stay stuck in what didn't happen. Don't linger in what should have been. Focus on what is. Survive this season, and you'll be ready to use it. The sooner you live through it, the sooner you'll understand it. And once you understand it, you can pull wisdom from it. That's how perspective is born. We all face defining moments, and they'll come wrapped in pain. All you have to do is choose not to quit. Within you is something stronger than struggle. Within you is the code to overcome. Victory doesn't always knock loud. It may not come today. It may not show up next week. But it will come, not because every person gets their moment, but because you didn't let your moment slip away. You showed up, you fought back, you kept moving forward when it made no sense to keep going. Eventually, pain will pass, but before it does, it will apply pressure. And pressure changes things. It can break a pipe or it can break a dam. And when the dam breaks, the flow begins. That's how breakthrough happens. That's how you enter the rhythm of life that leads to success. The hardship always carries meaning. And so do you. Loss is part of the journey. People who look up to you will experience it too. Show them how to lose with grace, with strength. Let them see your scars, not as signs of defeat, but as symbols of endurance. Those marks, whether seen or unseen, are reminders of what you've been through and why you started. When you're aiming for something meaningful, when you're fully invested, you're going to fall. You're going to fail. You will get bruised. But the wounds prove your willingness. They tell your story louder than any speech ever could. They show those watching that you're still here. Faith is that invisible force, no matter how small, that moves mountains. It's what you hold on to when nothing else remains. It's the belief that the dream stitched into your soul from the moment you were born wasn't placed there by accident. That dream was given to you with the full intent that you'd carry it all the way through. So ask yourself this: if you refuse to let fear decide your life, what would your life look like? If you craved your dream with such urgency that it pushed you beyond hesitation, where would it take you? Fear may still exist, but that doesn't mean you wait for it to disappear. You keep walking, step after step. You don't have to sprint, you don't even have to run. Just walk. Walk through it. Ask yourself these two questions every single day. Why do I do this? And what does it mean to me? Ask when you're tired. Ask when the passion feels distant. Ask when you want to give up. Because if you can still answer with purpose, if you still believe in the reason, you won't cheat the process. You'll value every part of the journey. And in time, the greatness in you won't be questioned. It will be undeniable. How do you feel when the room gets quiet and it's just you? For many, silence is uncomfortable, not because of the quiet, but because of the person they face in it. Some avoid being alone with themselves, not out of boredom, but because they question their worth. And when that feeling sets in, the truth is hard to ignore. You're not proud of who you've become. Now that realization, it doesn't belong to anyone else. It's not tied to your past pain or what others did. The responsibility for who you are today lies with you. But that's not a burden, it's power. You hold the pen, you get to rewrite the story. If you want new results, you must choose new habits, new thoughts, new actions. That's where real freedom begins. That's where change takes root. Faith becomes the engine that drives you forward. It inspires excellence. It gives your hard work a reason. It awakens your belief that you're capable and that your discipline matters. That vision placed in your heart, it's within reach. Your story is etched in the scars you carry. They're evidence of battles fought, of pain endured, of loss survived. Each mark is a chapter in the book of your life, a symbol of your effort, a result of giving everything you had, forged in uncertainty, fear, and perseverance. It was once said, when you understand your why, you can survive almost any how, because the road will get hard. You'll face rejection, failure, and doubt. But if your purpose runs deep, it will carry you. There's a saying, when life knocks you down, try to fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. Your reason becomes your strength, the force that helps you rise again. You must first open your mind to the possibility. I can do this. That shift unlocks your potential. When you believe it's possible, your mind begins to ask, how? Until then, you'll stay stuck, working endlessly perhaps, but never fulfilled. So ask yourself, is the life you're living worth the life it costs? If nothing changes, if you repeat the same year over and over, can you really call that living? Or is it sleepwalking, breathing but never alive, blind to what could have been? Transformation begins the moment you stop being loyal to the wrong things. Some stay in situations that are destroying them because of a kind heart that doesn't know when to let go. Loyal to people who never clap when you win. Loyal to those who never show up for you. But loyalty without reciprocity is a prison, and it's time to walk out. Life is a gift, and the freedom to live it well, that's a privilege. Real change doesn't come from collecting more information. It comes from making decisions. It comes from doing. That's power. Power is the ability to act. You may achieve something impressive for applause or prestige, but that satisfaction fades fast. Lasting joy comes from fulfilling something meaningful. When your goals reach beyond yourself, the journey becomes the reward. When you finally meet your real self, that's your true starting line. No pretending, no sugarcoating, just honesty. Maybe you feel weak, maybe you feel empty, maybe there's no belief left. Good, now we can begin. You don't build strength by lying to yourself. You build it by confronting the truth. Even if that truth hurts, don't get lost in the dream of someday. That road leads nowhere. You change your direction by deciding, now. Decide that you're done settling, done pretending this is enough, even if life seems fine. Decide it's not your final form. Decide that you're capable of more. Push further. That's real power. And remember what the word decision means. It comes from a root that means to cut off from. To decide is to remove every other option. No turning back. Step forward and take life head on. Each day, people get dressed and head to jobs that drain them, that make them sick in spirit. Because when you stop chasing what sets your soul on fire, you begin to die slowly. But if you reach, if you stretch, you'll discover parts of yourself you never knew existed. So, if you want this to be your breakthrough, be bold, not careful, not casual. Because life doesn't reward the timid. You move through it too carefully. You become a casualty. The greatest obstacle holding people back from taking action is fear. Fear of failing, fear of succeeding, fear of being turned away, fear of pain, fear of what they can't predict. The only way to overcome fear is to confront it. Look it in the eye and move forward despite how it makes you feel. Especially now, in a time when comfort is the norm. We surround ourselves with comfort. It feels good to hear, it's fine, you're fine. But no, it's not fine. Not if you know deep down you're capable of more. We all crave love and support, and yes, those things matter. But the truth? That matters even more. You need voices around you that say, you're not giving it everything you've got. That honesty is what fuels real growth. We convince ourselves we're trying hard, but based on what? Feelings? Emotion? Ask yourself, am I thinking clearly? Because if you're acting purely from emotion, chances are you're headed in the wrong direction. Are you acting out of anger, out of frustration? Is guilt pushing you to move? Is fear calling the shots? These emotions often lead us into choices we regret. And frustration, oh how quickly it convinces us to quit, or settle, or lash out. But you can't let that guide you. When you build strength in the areas where you used to be weak, you stop falling for the same tricks. The same situations don't beat you the way they used to. Stop repeating the same steps expecting a new outcome. You're not losing your mind. You're carrying a dream so bold it scares you. That's a good thing. You need a vision so large, even the earliest version of yourself wouldn't recognize it. And you won't stay the same, because growth requires transformation. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, walk. If walking is too much, then crawl. But whatever you do, do not stop. There is a version of you, stronger, wiser, more powerful, waiting on the other side of your persistence. Make this life mean something. Let this be your reminder. Hesitation has stolen enough from you already. Get up, move forward, and become the person your potential has been waiting for.